when Britain was part of Europe, there was no, I mean, we were all part of the European landmass, then there was a lot of, shall we say, difficulty to survive, and only people who, by chance, through random DNA mutations, had the ability to create shelter or capture animals or make clothing, and socialise and get the families to a large number, only those people survived the harsh climate, and that's gradually raised the average IQ of the white European people. Now, these different immigrants you refer to were actually all part of that same racial group. So the Angles, the Normans. Remember, the Normans were actually Norsemen. The Normans actually came with Viking stock. So we as a group, the white European group, mainly of the North European, are of a particular racial group and a particular culture and identity. And all I'm saying to you is this, that people of different racial groups are, on average, have different abilities. It's nothing to do with colour, it's to do with your inherited genetic pattern.
I would like to go back to the quote that we mentioned earlier, which was regarding civilizations that have emerged out of sub-Saharan Africa.
Well, there hasn't been any.
Obviously, clearly you've forgotten the great races of Egypt.
Well, sorry, no,
well, they're not sub-Saharan,
well, there
but
you go, then, that's it,
races from Africa. There have been a number of cultural leaders that have arisen out of that area. Writers, musicians.
Not sub-Saharan Africa, no. I'm referring to the sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay. Let's move that argument aside.
With the North, because
let's move that argument aside. Let's go on to, you believe that we all have different abilities based on our race.
Yes, that's one of the things, yeah.
And yet, isn't he contradicting himself when he says, how come the ethnics and the Asians are doing better than the white people?
Well,
who said that?
You said that.
This is what you were saying earlier.
I said that the IQ tests have shown that people from East Asian ancestry have a slightly higher IQ than white people, on average.
But
now, what I'm curious about...
not to be reliable, those tests.
Well, I'm afraid...
No, it's absolutely fine.
Scientifically
What
based.
I'm curious about is the definition of racism, which is what we were discussing earlier together, was that not only that you believe that people have different abilities and are inferior or superior.
Well, it's got to be one or the other.
It's how that is inflicted, so to speak, how that is visited upon the population.
Well,
now, in your opinion and in your views, it must be said, you are the press officer for the BNP, and that organization has often been related to racist and neo-Nazi movements.
Well,
what, in your opinion, do you feel that race, how racism is played out according to your definition in the UK?
Well, let me just say that I'm a member of the British National Party, and nationalists all over the world do exist, and there's nothing more natural than being a nationalist. Every living creature has a national interest in their own land of origin, and that goes for people from Black Africa as well, and from the
and for the people born in Britain.
Yeah. Well, yes, but let me just get. Well, I'm not too sure about that. But the point is this: that we, as nationalists in this country, feel quite strongly that we are being destroyed by mass immigration. There is I mean, the movement of people into this country is unprecedented. I mean, you've even got establishment politicians now, you know, Frank Field and people like that, saying all these things, and they're extremely worried about the consequences. Now, from our point of view, we think that because people of different racial groups are, on average, similar within a group and different to other groups, that makes for assimilation very problematical. It's not that we've any problem with individuals from different racial groups, obviously not. I have no problem at all speaking with individuals, but the group dynamic is such that if there are large numbers of people coming to this country who are different biologically, racially, and culturally, but that's not quite so important, then it will affect our traditional British culture and identity. And just let me finish. If the capital of Pakistan was threatened by having a minority of Pakistani people because of mass immigration from China, I'm sure the Pakistanis would object to that. Am I right?
Well, let me jump in right there.
Right, lovely.
You think of your rebuttal, because we must go to a commercial break at the moment.
Right, okay, because I've got my answer ready, I'm afraid.
We shall recap when we come back, and you will be able to answer that question in full.
Okay.
Thank you very much for watching. Join us on the other side of this, and if you have anything to share with us, you can ring on 0870 60 70 83. Goodbye.
My name is Mark Johnson. I live in Bristol, and I'm 21 years old. 3 years ago, I had a road traffic accident. I was riding my bike at the time when I went over a pothole, causing me to fall off. I suffered slight tissue damage to my face, my shoulder and my back. I saw the ad on the TV. I called claims to day solicitors. They said that I was entitled to compensation and that I could get money for my injuries.
Lowering the thermostat by 1 degree could save you up to 10% off your heating bill. Save energy, money and the environment. Call 0800 512 012.
Some people always seem to have plenty of money. I used to wonder how they did it. Mine would just disappear as soon as I got paid. It was all those credit card bills, the store cards, the loans I had. I knew they had to go, but how? Then I found a way, and it was easy. If you're a mortgage payer, it could be easy for you as well. Just call Easy Loans. We could help you pay off your credit cards for good, organise your overdraft once and for all, and stamp out those store cards permanently. Easy. But what if you've got arrears, defaults, even CCJs? Don't worry, with Easy Loans it could be easy to wave goodbye to all your debts, whatever your current situation. Borrow up to £100,000 and have cash to spend on whatever you want. Debts to settle? A new car? Thinking of extending your home? All three could be easy with Easy Loans. Call Easy Loans now on 0800 881 8810. That's 0800 881 8810. Easy.
Antisocial behaviour.
Divorce proceedings.
Student top-up fees, the smoking law.
Employment law.
Welcome back to Talk Back, Legal TV's brand new debate show. Now we're going to get straight back into it. Our topic today is racism. We're joined by Dr. Phil Edwards, who is a scientist and also a press officer for the BNP. And we're joined by Bushra, welcome, Bushra Anwar, who is also chairman of the White Castle Trust. That's right. Now, before we went to the break, we were discussing an issue regarding racism, and I will recap it, if you don't mind, Dr. Edwards, with a quote which says, "It's not a question of whether we like or dislike them," referring to other races. "It's a question of whether they, as a racial group, are of any danger, shall we say, to the peace, stability, and indigenous culture of Britain. And we think that they are." Of course, you're referring to your British National Party affiliations.
Well,
but let Bushra respond to this.
Yes. Well, firstly, I'd like to ask him a question before I can respond, because he did say a rather long speech and I was unable to clarify a point. When you say mass immigration and that these people are going to make a big difference to the country, can you tell me what percentage you're talking about? In the UK, can we restrain ourselves to the UK? Because the BNP at the moment is targeted to the UK.
The last time that there was a census was about 6 years ago, and it only counted people here legally, and I think the figure about 7 or 8%.
Well, can I say there's a difference between illegal and asylum matters, which you already discussed in your speech, which I need to clarify, because what you said in your speech was that the politicians have also said about this mass immigration. They're talking about asylum and things, which are legal matters, which are they are obliged to do with the convention. That's got nothing to do with the people who are legally